They just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old, same old, same old every single day without which please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Hey everyone. Do you know what? I've just sneezed. That's fucking terrible in here. The dust. The dust. That's all it is, the dust. Oh, poor Frank. Just making him sneeze. But anyway, good morning. It's the film and TV review. I hope you've been watching some films. I hope you've watched. I mentioned this, and I'll mention it for weeks. You know, look, I don't think people don't realise we're on the precipice of a war. We really are. We really are on the precipice of a war. Think about this. You've got these lunatics in Brussels, then you have the lunatics, heads of states, you know, in Europe, who were just wanting war with Russia. There was a false flag there in Poland. That's 2 false flags in Poland to get NATO involved. What they're going to do? What's NATO going to do? They're finished, NATO. What are they going to do? And once they go in, don't forget they're America. And I've said this all the time. Why am I going on about this? If America thought that they could defeat Russia, they was a well gone in. But they can't. Russia has a massive nuclear arsenal. So that's why I asked you to watch the day after. And no one seems to have said, I've watched it. It's a waste of time, you know. Me saying these things. It's the way it is. We even, you know, I mentioned about a great series, 2 great series. 2 great series. One, The Outsider. No one seems to have watched that. And Spotless. No one seems to have watched that. Stephen, good morning. Wise friend. After last night, I don't think I'm wise. How are you feeling on this fine morning? How am I feeling? I don't know. Fed up. That's how I feel. Fed up. Really fed up about things. About what's going on in the world. You know, there's a fella who was assassinated. You've got, I think, how many, I don't know whether it's 5 or 7 people from a political party in Germany in the last couple of weeks have died mysteriously because that political party wanted to stop everything about Russia. That's in Germany, and no one's kicking up a fuss. But anyway, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about films and TV review. So, but no one watches it. I've recommended. I've really recommended these TV series and films, and no one seems to be bothered about them. The day after should be watched. It was made in 1983, and it's only what's going on today. I've just finished watching a 1936 film called Things to Come, H.G. Wells. I've said lots of times that H.G. Wells is a great visionary. Try and watch a little colour version on YouTube, the film Things to Come. It's incredible. The special effects, especially, you know, at the beginning and then at the end, incredible. This is what H.G. Wells thought of. It was written in 1930, well, it was before 1933. It was published in 1933. So he must have started writing it between 1930 and 1931, if you know me. And then had it published a couple of years later, 1933. What I'm saying is he predicted, we just finished a war, 1911. I'm sorry, not 1911. What I mean is, in 1930, he was predicting another war 11 years after the First World War stopped. So you say, you know, that this man was a great visionary. Just have a look. You want to see, and he designed everything, you know the special effects, the planes, everything. Have a look. He's even got, you're not going to believe it, what's in this film. He's even, you look at it, but although it's propellers, it's a massive, like, stealth bomber. Stealth. Incredible. I want to see the helicopter in it as well. And the Russian Sikorsky, he designed the helicopter, didn't he? You know, he invented the helicopter, shall we say. Quicker way to get around. Let's see what he's been saying. Bella. Buongiorno Franco. And chats. Hope you're all well. Are you Bella? I think Toscana's fell out with me after that. That's why I'm doing no more. I'm falling out. Well, people are falling out with me. I don't fall out with them. But I'm just, you know, and Stefan, the number of God blimey, fucking, I hate wearing these, honestly. I hate them. They're heavy on my nose. The number in Germany are now up to 16, I'm afraid. What do you mean? The number in Germany are now up to 16. I don't know what you mean. People are against this merch, you know. I do know that. I do know that. Good morning, Frank. Hope you're well. I'm taking care of the house, so I can't write much, but I'm listening. Thank you, Daniela. Taking care of the house. So you're a house sitter. I watched a film called House Sitter. Um, House Sitter is with Goldie Hawn. Very funny. Very funny. Steve Martin. Bella says, Franco, I watched it. I started, say I mentioned, there's what I mentioned. So I don't know what one you watched there. You know, I watched a couple of, I've mentioned a couple of TV series, the likes of Spotless and The Outsider, but also that film, which is The Day After. And say, I was listening to the dialogue, what's going on in there. And it's just the same as what's going on today. The Russians this, the Russians that, Russia, oh, they're not, no. And then, psh. I was listening to a fella this morning, fully enough, named Alex Craner. Well, I was listening to him the other day. And I said, and I seen him again, I said, oh, watch this again. To make sure that I listen properly. And I listen to what he says. And Stefan says, movies used to be great distractions, reasons to have a night out, expanded in TV series. They seem to serve to numb people from all the misery they see on social media and, of course, change perceptions. Wow. Yeah. Well, all our things have changed, haven't they? All our perceptions get changed over the years. You know, if you've got a belief, if you've got your own ideology, and you stick with that, I do, I stick with mine. I stick with mine. On what I believe in. It's like religion, you know, people say about, well, I'm not a practicing Christian, I'll just say that. But as you say, 2 prayers every night. 2 prayers. And I've been saying them since I was a little boy. The same 2 prayers. Terrible, this. Really pisses me off. And Bella says, Franco, you're right, the day after you can see what's going on today, and it's quite frightening. Thank you, Bella. This is what I was saying to the people. Watch it. Listen to the dialogue. You know, it's no use watching a film and not listening to the dialogue and missing certain things, which is very important. You've only got to look at the very end of Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston. And he sees the Statue of Liberty and the, you know, stuck in the sand. And he said, my God, they've gone and done it. They've done it. They've gone and done it. That was a nuclear holocaust. Because don't forget, he went into the future, didn't he? As a stare in space, went through a wormhole, black hole or whatever he went through, and he ended up on Earth, you know, a few thousand years later. And it was ruled by apes, because apes took over. because there was nothing there. Nothing. Humans finished. So thank you for that, Bella. Have you seen any good films this week, Frank? I was watching, I tell you what it is, watch. You mightn't beat it anyone's liking, actually. But I like Benicio del Toro. But some of the stars in it, cameo roles, and it was called The Phoenician, or The Phoenician Project, something like that. But it was weird. I was laughing through it. That Del Toro is a great actor. So I watched that. If you haven't seen it, I'm not recommending you to see it because it's weird. It's really weird, you know. One of those, I don't know. The Accountant is a good action film. The ending is brilliant. Unfortunately, they have to do a sequel immediately after, and of course, disappointing. Well, that's what they do. They put on a good film, and they go, oh, yeah, let's make more money. Bang! So they make another one. The only franchise I like, I'm being honest here, is the Mission Impossible. I love that for action. I really did. You might think, oh, Tom Cruise. Anyway, and John Wick. They're the ones I watched. Latest ones, Woke. No. Sorry. I dream of epoch movies in Liverpool, but not with slavery. Beer scripts, of course. Do me play. Do me play. As one of the cast members said, oh, blimey, someone will make this into a TV series. The vlogs, ILA. He says, I'm going to see The Conjuring today with the missus, my son and nephew. Then roll on the game tomorrow. What time's kick-off? 2 o'clock. I have a feeling, yes, 2 o'clock, but not sure. Yeah, I'm doing a watch-along. And I know you go to games, so you won't be watching Frank. That's all. Doing a watch-along, shouting at the screen. The Conjuring, and Francine went to see it with my other grandson, James. He said, come on, Mum, I've got a couple of tickets for the... And his girl said, I'm not going to watch that. So he had to bring his mother, Francine. Good luck with that. The vlog, should watch the detect. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yes. Fucking do you know what? My tongue's dead sore. I'll tell you for why. I bit into something. And it cracked my tooth. And do you know, like, when you're trying to do something, your tongue goes all over, and I didn't realise that. And it's going on a sharp edge, and it's killing me. I've got to get it out. I've got to get this tooth out. Little tooth. Franco, I don't think anyone fell out with you. Franco, everybody loved and has great respect for you. The way we can talk openly and feel free with you, even if we disagree at times. Thing is, you see, Bella, is that I've given. See, I'm the only YouTuber, really, who's given an open platform to people. That's why I keep saying it's not just me, it's you as well. You on there chatting. And some great comments, by the way. I love the comments. But unfortunately, it's just a matter of, how can I put this? Going shopping later with our Francie. Getting a trolley as a Zimmer. That's the only exercise, the only exercise I get. You might laugh here, is, you know, like, say you come down to the house, I'll get a guest in, someone always comes, making a cup of tea or a coffee, that's the only exercise I get. Mad. And Stefan, film used to be brilliant sometimes, only because of charismatic actors. Eastwood, Al Pacino, etc. Now, like in music, most actors have little personality. Look, what you see, I was listening to Clint a couple of years ago now, and he actually said, I feel sorry for the young actors today because the scripts, and he was talking about woke actually, but he never said woke, he just said some of the scripts, he said are awful. And that's why he said he felt sorry for them. I was watching a few others. You just know what's going to happen, especially if you see a wooded scene. You know, where it's gone, like, don't go into the woods or whatever. And there's always a scene, every film. And it's become a norm, where you see a young girl running through the woods, the forest, whatever. And stopping, looking, and then running again. Stopping, looking, running again, then falling over. Always trips over. Every single film. Tell you what I did enjoy once, Cabin in the Woods, where you see these people going in, youngsters, going into the woods to this cabin, stop off at a shop and get a couple of things, groceries. And you notice every American film, with youngsters in, they always get a six-pack. And it lasts right through. You always see them drinking. It's a magic six-pack. It's a magic six-pack. You just can't blame me. How many beers was in that six-pack? ridiculous. Bella, we are family, and that's what families do. He's just a great. So cheer up. We love you very much. Thank you, Bella. Thank you. Cheer up. Well, yeah. Am I that miserable? Americans do great films on sport, legacies, even college improbable wins for the few care about. No one has ever done it for LFC, Shankly's time, unfortunately. No, they won't. They won't. It's Liverpool, you see. I don't watch any American. I tell you what it is. I watched Fields of Dreams once. That was it. And I thought, have you still not watched the Fury film, Frank? You're missing out on the vlogs. The Fury film. I don't know, do you know? I've watched that many, vlogs, Lee. I've watched that many. I've watched loads. Buongiorno, Franco. Says Toscana, and everyone just thought I'd pop in. My son's still fast asleep, so I thought I'll take the opportunity. Hope you're all well. Thank you, Toscana. Your son's still asleep. Listen, I could be fast asleep. Isn't that a funny saying? Isn't that a funny saying? Fast asleep. Fast asleep. Funny say, I've always thought that, even as a kid. Why should he say fast asleep? Why don't he just say asleep? Everybody says it. Fast asleep. Unless it's a fast before breakfast. That's what breakfast is, isn't it? You break your fast. Because when you're asleep, in the night, you get up, you're breaking your fast. Because you fast during your sleep. Hence, break fast. It's really break fast when you have breakfast. I don't think, has anybody ever thought of that? Or am I the only stupid one who thinks these little things? Does anyone watch I Fought the Law with Sheridan Smith? So my friend's son was in it. He played T.S. Mark Braithwaite. I thought no. Sheridan Smith's a great actress, by the way. Does a Scouse accent as well. Good Scouse accent. And the vlogs. Might be watching The Life of Brian tonight. Also seen photos of an event that happened about a letter to Brezhnev with Margie Clark in it. Must have been an anniversary thing. Good film. That. Yeah, it was a good film on Alexandra Pig. She's great, Alex. So was Margie. So was Margie. Hiya, Frank. Hiya, Margie. How are you? I'm all right. She's really a lovely person. Is that Margie? I don't know what happened to her. See, they got fucking shot of her in Coronation Street. They don't like Scousers, I do know that for a fact, at Coronation Street. Buongiorno Toscana, I hope you're well, says Bella. And she says, especially Italian families, they always look as though they are arguing. Thank you, Bella, I'm okay. Yeah. Use their hands, they talk with their hands. I remember filming, and this fella who was directing said to me, stop that, it gets on my nerves when I'm editing. I said, what do you want me to fucking do? Just stand here with my hands in my pocket trying to talk history? I said, it doesn't work like that. And Callum. Frank Red's on tomorrow. Are we excited to maybe see 15, 20 minutes of his sack? He will come on. Oh, Brad Pitt. Sorry, he will come on, Callum. Yeah, I've seen it. I like Brad. I like Brad. Brad Pitt's a very good... I was going to watch him the other night in Formula One. In Formula One. And I never bothered. I was too tired, so I went to bed. I was going to watch it after the show. No, not miserable. I think you're just in a lot. I am. I am. Terrible. I thought I got rid of one pain that went from there to my left elbow. And it's hitting me now. And I might have to change my location as well. Doing this. Because this chair kills me. Kills me. I just don't know what to do. I've got to think about it. Because, as you said, you know, I'm in pain and I am. Often old actors had a life before being found to be actors. They had acquired that patina that comes with experience, and women were women. The only boys dream of seducing someday. One of the boys dreamt of seducing. I had a crush on a girl named Donna Mills. Still acting. Donna Mills. Seen her in the 70s. I mean, oh, Donna Mills. But I don't fantasize, you see. Never ever fantasized. Because if you fantasize, never happens. I have a soft spot for Inception. Didn't get the same enthusiasm for Tenet. Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio. Something about him, DiCaprio. I remember him playing, I forget what film it was called, and I went, oh, come on. He was playing J. Edgar Hoover, and I thought, he's too fucking young. He's got a baby face. But he plays him nevertheless, and I just couldn't take to it. Seabrookie's coming back for a one-off episode, Frank. Be good to see Sue and Ricky as the grants again. Yes, Sue is lovely. So is Ricky. Like he's a good fella. But Sue, lovely person. Morning, Frank, says TW. Morning, T. How are you? Bella, the Band of Brothers from World War II. Yes. Think about the Bands of Brothers though, it was American money. And it wasn't really, the true story was that they were going after the British lad. British troops. Fucking hell. Not long until Xmas and all these bloody Home Alone films we be back on, and Uncle Buck and all these types. Uncle Buck's great though. Uncle Buck, John Candy, cracking film. Good morning, Frank and chat. Says Freedom Journey. Hiya, Freedom. Yeah, she is lovely, and also gave a lovely eulogy at Dean's funeral. Never went, I couldn't fucking go anywhere, mate. I was gone to that service. Dean was your friend. Even Jake Abraham. Couldn't even go and see him. His brother got hold of me and said he's got a couple of hours, get up here. I said, I can't. I can't. Oh, gee. When I was first reading your thing there, vlogs, like, I thought it was ufology, Shit. Yeah. Do you know what? I'll tell you when it was. About 6 years ago. I gave, honestly, within a matter of months, 7 eulogies. 4 of them was in the one church. The priest said, "Blimey, you here again? You must have had some friends." They're all dead. They're all passing on. Shocking. Can you tell me more about this Brookie one-off episode? It's something to do with, I don't know, I haven't a clue. But it's something to do with Hollyoaks for some reason. She gave a urology exam. Oh, that's funny. The AVA. Yeah. That's all I know. It's going along the lines of this Hollyoaks, which I've never seen in my life. Phil Redmond. I just don't know. I don't know. Gary. Morning everyone. Brookside is only a one-off then. I was hoping it was going to start a new series. You see, look, I understand that guy. I could do actually. He could leave. Oh yeah, let's do it. But you've got to look at the way people look at Liverpool. The way they look at Liverpool. And, the series. That's why I was taken. I always remember a cracking series. It was a very good series. It was called Liverpool One. And they were showing fantastic locations. Rather than, you know, the locations they like showing. And there was films inside the Port of Liverpool building, there was films in the Cunard, there was films in the Live, there was films everywhere, there was films all over. Showing parts of Liverpool that, you know, were exceptional. And they took it off. Police series it was. John McCardle was in it. And I remember Ricky Tomo saying, well, they took it off simply because it was showing Liverpool in a good light. So you see, they'd rather, TV companies would rather show Liverpool in the dark light. This is what Liverpool's all about. You've only got to look, it's a film. If you haven't seen it, vlogs, what's it called? I forget what it's called. But I'll tell you who's in it, and you've only got to Google them. John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. And it's about a drink or something, you know. It's really good. It's fun. Like an adventure type film. Anyway, if you Google it, it's a very good film. And some of it was filmed in Liverpool. Because when I was watching it, because I like Krasinski and Natalie Portman, and I put it on, I was just watching them like that, and I went, whoa, paused it. Liverpool. And it was the best part of Liverpool. You know, the location, you know, where someone did a recon and went, yeah, how about this for the recon? And whoever it was making the film, yeah, this will do very good, very well. And it was the neoclassical quarter, fantastic. And inside the Walker as well. Brilliant, loved it. I really loved it, you know. And Stefan says, hey Gary Rigby, Danny Yellow was waiting to see you again to bring up, of course, the Beatles. The Beatles. The vlogs. Yeah, it's to do with the 30th anniversary of Ollie Oaks. I like the way you said that, Ollie. I always remember, you know, I was a little mad kid, little lad. And I said, can I have an Ollie ice? And our Angela was saying, it's not an Ollie ice. Say it again. I went, Ollie ice. I'll say it again, it's not an Ollie ice. And I went, Nolly ice. Wouldn't let me go unless I got it right. Ollie. Ollie, Nolly, instead of Lolly. See how cruel they were to Frank. Little lad, little mad kid. Ollie ice, Nolly ice. Hang on, what's that? But hang on, yeah, it's to do with the Ollie Oaks, but I heard they could do more brookie depending on ratings, and the owner of the close spoke to Phil when they filmed there last Wednesday. Phil Redmond. And the vlogs. He said to Phil he would sell the close back to him only if the price is right. Why you owns it? I thought ordinary people live in there now. Oh, I keep getting a pain in my ear. Oh, horrible. Oh, fucking hell. I hear that. Do you know what? You wouldn't believe it though. I used to have little ears, and I know ears grow and your nose grows. Our Francis says to me, "Hey Dad, why did you have a Roman nose?" I don't know. She said, "I didn't want a Roman nose." Blames me for a Roman nose. And Gary said, "I know, I've just heard some terrible abuse on YouTube. Someone posted a video saying Manchester capital of football. So all I said was that they should be Liverpool. I'm sorry, I bothered. You can't say nothing. Liverpool can't be mentioned. You're going to get young Isak. You know, he just wanted to leave Newcastle. And he told them last season. And, you know, there's Shearer telling lies about him. What a phony he is, Alan Shearer. And he's going to be hated. Not Shearer, but Isak. It's shocking what goes on. Anything connected with Liverpool, anything. Anything at all. Hi Stephen, Daniela. Sorry, I don't remember. I was talking about the... Was I talking about the Beatles? I read some time ago that Man United would have never made it to the top division if LFC hadn't loaned for free on the last qualifying game several players. And that was to Gary Rigby. The film Something About Mary, it's a comedy, so funny, with Cameron Diaz. Yes. Yes, I like Cameron Diaz. Yes. I tell you what you want to watch. When, you know, Lee Brady said about Christmas coming up. And you're getting the Home Alone. Watch The Holiday. With Cameron Diaz, Jude Law. Yes. Kate Winslet and Jack Black. Jack Black. You ever see Jack Black in the School of Rock? Brilliant. That was a great film, that. Stefan. In the Cilla Black show, didn't like the portrait of Epstein. Felt it was disrespectful of its memory. I don't know, never watched it. Never watched it. I want to talk to her brother, Silla's brother, Alan. I mentioned it to him once. And he went, looked at me, he said, it's fucking white. Black. I said, okay. What are you getting excited for? Cilla White. I said, well, why did she change her name? Cilla White? Sounded okay. Don't know. Just did. Taking notice of agents. Tell you what, Cilla, we'll call you Black. Cilla Black, how does that sound? I'd never change my name. Toscana says, Stefan, Daniela hates me for liking comedy dodgeball. I won't watch anything like that. So don't talk to me about those type of films. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, people. Thank you, Lee. No one gives me thumbs up, honestly. You might think so, they don't. And the Freedom says, yet they are filming up there. Yeah. At the Phil and making it look like Gotham City. So it must be a new Batman. Yep. And Gary says, so-called football fans denying Liverpool are a great team is ridiculous. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. Listen, jealousy is rife. It's rife throughout everything. Really. Countries are jealous of other countries. I could go on about politics and the likes of what politicians think of different aspects of different professions. Like tourism, for example. Tourism. And theme parks. We've got to get more tourists in, especially in the States. Because the majority of tourists love going to the likes of Portugal and Spain, south of France, and of course, beautiful Italy. That's where more tourists go. But now they're going far afield until the EU stepped in and whatever, because I didn't realise how many people, but I'm going back a few years ago. And I was on something, I was on someone's radio, and I forget who it was. And I said, wouldn't you ever think of going over to Russia? I said, because, it's a breakthrough there now. I said, Paul McCartney did it a few years ago in Red Square. And the crowds was unbelievable in Red Square. You see, it was free, but you had all the Beatle fans. Paul McCartney, Red Square, and he sang get back to where you once belong, get back, Joe. He sang that. Sang a few songs. Back in the USSR. Back in the USSR. Brilliant. Yes, Freedom Journey, a new series on the Guinness too. In August, they filmed before St George's Hall, the Den of Frank. I'm supposed to be taking some people out. I won't be able to do it at the end of the month. There's no way. And the lovely people. He's all watching the fucking match now. Is there a match coming on? Toscana to step. I agree about the way Brian Epstein was portrayed too. Much of his sexual preferences, which was his business, they went overboard with it. Breaking Bad still top series. Say Stepping, yeah. Bryan Cranston. There's a series, you mightn't have watched it, but I only watched the first series. They made a second and I went, oh, fuck that, I'm not watching that. Because the first series sums up everything. And it was called Your Honour. Bryan Cranston. Brilliant. Your Honour. He's a judge. But it's brilliant. Franco, what's your film that you recommended us to watch? Says Bella. What's my film? There's been a few, I forget them now. I recommend it, but I think you've watched it. That was, and no one seemed to have watched it. No one. And that was the day after. Maybe it was too old for them. That was made in 1983, but it applies today. There's I don't know. I'll tell you what's good if you like a little horror sort of thing. And you get it on YouTube, and it's called End of Days with Big Arnie in it. Arnie Schwarzenegger plays a cop. End of Days. But I like these little, these ones made in the 30s, strangely enough. Little Hitchcock ones. Young and innocent, cracking little film. Very good. Bella Italia, the Italian Job is good in both versions. I totally agree with you there, Cinema Paradiso. Fantastic film. Unbelievable film. And I always forget the actor's name. I've seen him in loads of tapes. French, by the way, he's not Italian. And Toscana to Stefan. Have you watched Benvenuti al Sud? Absolutely hilarious. I can watch it over and over. My mum came from south of Italy, so I can relate to it. Goodbye southern Italy, yeah. Goodbye. Is that what it is? Yeah, I watched them great films, says Bella. Talking about series, which had one great first season, then disappointed to watch the True Detectives. I don't. As I said, I watched You're On It, and the first series was great. That's it. Second series go on, and I went, fuck that, I'm not watching that. I watched Spotless. See, I like watching series back to back. Back to back. If they've got my interest, oh yeah. Another great series was Sly Stallone in, called Tulsa. First series, great. Second series, great. So they're the only, that's the only series I've ever watched, 2 series of. But they're only short seasons, series, if you know what I mean. It's not like episode 28 or whatever. Don't like them kind of things, won't watch them. I Toscana Yes, so, yeah, was a copy of the French one, which was, yeah, my family is from there. My parents never returned after leaving. That is the lovely ambidextrous. Oh, yeah. Hey, Ambi. Good morning, Frank and everyone. I think the film was the day after. Yeah, I mentioned it before. Ambidextrous must have been just before, you came on. You tuned in. Oh, you're good, you. Philip Norrie, that's it. Philippe Norrie was the French actor. Dead now. Beloved actor with great presence and courageous role. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Great actor. And he was unbelievable in Paradiso. About a little picture house. Fantastic. Oh, oh. The bear. Come on and Frank and chat. Come on and bear. Oh, you did it. The kids when Old Man was also played. Yeah, really. Do you know what? Dr. Benj, I'm telling you now, Jim Broadbent and Timothy Spall are brilliant actors. It depends on what you're saying, underrated. I think I could go along with you by saying that yet they're great actors. What I mean is the likes of yourself and me, and most probably loads of others who go anything with Timothy Spall and bang, yeah, watch it. Jim Broadbent, absolutely amazing actor. Fantastic. I'm trying to think of the actor. Jim Broadbent. And I forget his fucking name. I always put them together as well. I'll tell you what the other actor was in. I can't think of it, but you will get it. He was in the first Marigold, the exotic Marigold Hotel, with Dame Judy and Dame Maggie and, the usual crowd of great actors. And he was in that one. Came to me then. What an actor. What a fucking actor. Oh, what's his bloody name? I forget his name. So you're right there, Dr. Benjamin. Two fantastic actors. Hello, Franco. Wish you a great day. Hiya, Ali. I was only talking about your country last night on this social issues when we were talking about corrupt politicians. Not your corrupt, if you know what I mean. Corrupt in Brussels. You know what I mean. So you must know what I was talking about. Cancelling elections. And Stephen says, you can immediately detect a classical British actor in an American. There is a signature to the theatre school of Shakespeare. I agree with you there. I totally agree with you. You've only got to look at the film. I had to watch it. I didn't want to watch it, but I watched it anyway. And that was Robin, Prince of Thieves, and you had Kevin Costner with a mid-Atlantic accent trying to, oh, fuck, why have they got him? But Alan Rickman was in it, and he just stole it, out-acted everybody. And if you watch a thing called Space Galaxy or something, with Alan Rickman, Galaxy Quest. He just out everybody. Sigourney Weaver was in it. She's great, Sigourney. Sam Rockwell. He just stole it. You could see the acting in it. And it was a fun film. I loved it. You've only got to watch another one, but he's Irish, this fella. And Lake Placid, the first one, the original. Brendan Gleeson, Bill Pullman, Brigitte Fonda, and Oliver Platt. Such a film. Brendan Gleeson just stands out. And old Betty White, who's dead now, she died when she was 100 or 102, something mad like that. Anyway, the bear says a film to look out for in the next few months. It's not out here yet. The Shadow's Edge, crime thriller, Macau, Hong Kong, Jackie Chan, brilliant Jackie, Tony Leung, brilliant, without questioning the best crime thriller in go away. The Shadow's Edge. I don't mind Chinese films, you know. That Jackie Chan is incredible. I seen him in a film, and he comes out of this apartment and he's looking up. Like that. There's another apartment block, you know, next to one another. And he's looking like that. And the next you just see him. And he runs up a wall and leaps over to another. You know, they're facing. And he's like that. Bing, 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 bing. Until he gets to a veranda and he grabs hold of it. Pulls himself up and he goes in. And then I seen him in an interview ages after. And I'm talking a couple of years. And I said, oh, listen to what he's got to say, you know, about films and whatever and his stunts. And that thing came up. And you see him. He said, no, I've done that. I've done it. He said, it has a bit of a rehearsal going up so many things. He said, then it came down. And he said, I'm just going to do it. But they had to stick the veranda out a bit more. Oh, what a stunt. What a stunt. I've never seen anyone like it at anything. I'll tell you what got me into like the Chinese stuff, whether you know, you seeing it as well. Do you remember that Kung Fu? Do you remember that? I am. It's the way he used to speak. I am Quanti. Bill Nye, great actor. Great actor. I love our actors. I think they're better than the Americans. A lot better. Galaxy Quest. Did you like it? Loved it, honestly. In Bruges, oh, come on. But Farrell and Gleeson, I loved them. They're great actors. But you know who stole the show for me? I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Ralph Fiennes. Absolutely amazing. In Bruges. And he's the boss. And the little dwarf. Oh. And yet, it was like, it was hard hitting, really, wasn't it? You know, because something happened in London and the death of a child. So they had to go out and over to Bruges, one of the most boring cities on the planet, that is. I think that's why they just picked the location in Bruges. And the bear says, The Shadow's Edge might be the best Jackie Chan film ever. Cat and mouse crime thriller, unreal action. And have you seen it? Are you a sly boots, eh? You a sly boots bear? The wrong arm of the law. Sellers. Oh. He was an incredible actor, comedian, everything. Sellers. But he used to have other fellas around him who were absolutely, like that David Lodge. And the Liverpool actor, what was his name? He was in A Shot in the Dark, this Liverpool actor. And you just see him, he's following, he's a detective as well. And he's just following Caruso around. He's got, one of them stupid faces. When you got to look at him, you laugh. That's why they had him in. But a good actor. Forget his name. Oh. Yes, in Bruges is great. Spared me to organise our first road trip with Daniela for a romantic dinner by the canals. Bruges. Galaxy Quest is my favourite science fiction comedy ever. Ain't even close. And I've said this loads of times, and no one's watched it. I've told them, watch it. It's so funny. Tim Allen. But you had Rickman, he just out everybody, including Sigourney. And Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell's a good actor. And he's brilliant in it. Do you know how you can tell a good actor? He can play both dramatic and comedy. It's very hard to do. That's why I like Rob Fiennes Ralph Fiennes is mostly, you know, like these spy things and always like in the drama and thrillers and mysteries and but in that in Bruges, so funny. And I'll tell you what else is brilliant in. The Grand the Grand Hotel of Budapest. I think that's the full title. The Grand Hotel Budapest. That's what, funny enough, when I mentioned that, it's very similar. I mentioned a film at the beginning called The Phoenician with Benicio del Toro, and it's very similar to the, you know, to that film that I've just mentioned, The Grand Hotel Budapest. The original, yeah, a masterpiece, says the bear. Yes. Yes. I watched the film, and I mentioned this before, and I thought it was one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in my life. Sid James. Sid James. Sid James and what's her name? Sylvia Sims, right? And they were criminals and they got caught but they hid the money in a tree. And they all got 10 years each. So when they came out, they were looking for the tree. So anyway, they went, there it is, there. So what they had to do, they said, oh, we'll have this. So they climbed up a wall, big wall. No, have you seen this? See where it is? Looking over the wall. And it was a police station. It was on the police grounds, this tree. And should have seen them trying to get it. They got a little flat facing this tree. They said, yeah, but we'll get it. And there was no way that they could get over. So Sid James, he got a harpoon, you know, a big harpoon off a ship. And anyway, Sylvia Sims, who's his blonde bombshell, you know, his girl, said, here, Sid, what's that? And he said, it's an harpoon. She said, what? He said, you know, it catches whales. And she went, oh. And she was looking at the, you know, the big arrow thing, you know, the big head. And she went, where'd you put the worm? Where'd you put the worm? But it was the reaction of Sid James. And I'll tell you who else was in it. And he was standing there, and he was just looking like that. Oh, what's his name? Oh, you are awful, but I like you. And, oh, you are awful, but I like you. Oh, what's his name? But anyway, he was in it, and he was standing there, and he was looking like that. Where'd you put the worm? The expressions, I don't know what it was called, but it's fucking tough. Bella's going. See you, Bella. Grazie Franco and everyone. Great show. Got to go to my sons and daughters. Take it. Tiramisu for your sweet. That's lovely. Have a good weekend, Franco and everyone. Thank you, Bella. I've got one tiramisu in the fridge, and I've been keeping it for tomorrow for my Sunday dinner. Not that I've got like this, I don't know, I suppose it'll repeat on me, which I ate. Anyway, have a great day, Bella, says Toscana. Have a lovely lunch. Pranzo. Pranzo. Per pranzo. With a son and daughter. Brilliant. Go. Geordie. Away the lads. Hey, Geordie. Big up, Frank. Cheers, mate. Big up yourself. I hope you're well. I really do. Come on, Frank. There are those cobblestones in the fucking Swan in Bruce. Oh, absolutely. So funny. Graham Stark, thank you, Dr. Benjamin. Graham Stark, born in Wallasey, 91 when he died. He was in the Pink Panther as well, yeah. So you can imagine why he was chosen, can't you? Because he had that face. He had that face. So funny. And if you like Fines, have you seen Carol? Yes, seen it. Yeah, OP Transport and Balkan Conflict. Yeah, I don't like Shakespeare being brought up. I was in the Everyman, and I went to see Pete Postlethwaite. I went, oh, this is going to be great, King Lear. And I thought, oh fuck that. I walked out. Because they brought it up to date with the modern war. I think it was in Serbia, I think, when they were bombing Serbia. No, it wasn't. Forget where it was. And I said, I'm not having this. Walked out. That's me. I like traditional Shakespeare. Nothing else. I want to see them in modern dresses. Don't want to see them in modern dress. The RSC are awful for it. You know, when they're doing plays and they come out with, you know, in tuxedos and that. I don't know why they do it, so I don't follow the RSC anymore. Dick Emery, the bear, yeah, should have seen it. Do you know when Sid James, he just looks at her and goes to Emery and he should see the face on him. It's one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in my life. It was so funny. I'm going back a bit more. Margaret, oh, I love Margaret Rutherford. Can't think of a bad film that she. Do you know what? She was in a film, and it's one of the best films I've seen. A fantastic mega cast, mega. And I always remember an interview with Orson Welles. And they were asking, you know the way they usually say, you know, these interviewers, you know, well, you know, what kind of, you know, fine actors did you greatly admire? Orson. And he went, Margaret Rutherford. And the fucking interviewers didn't even know who she was, because he was an American, you see, being interviewed in America. What? Who? Fine English actress, he said. And if you haven't seen the VIPs, this is the film he was talking about. It's a cracking film. It's an unbelievable film. So funny, so tragic, so everything. And you had all the stalwarts in it. Michael Ordine, Richard Waters. But you also had Liz and Richard in it. Dame Maggie. Fantastic. Fantastic. Louis, I was going to say Louis Vuitton, and his name stuck in me to some French actor. Oh, fucking hell. It's gone. See, I've got Louis Vuitton in my mind now. Louis Jourdan. And he's the love interest for Elizabeth Taylor, who's leaving her husband, Richard Burton. And you just see him hanging about, in the airport. Fantastic. It's a fantastic film. But there's a delay. And Orson Welles plays he plays this big German he is. But he thinks, he's saying he's British. I am British, yes. And he's trying to get out to avoid tax. Absolutely brilliant. It's great. And that Australian actor, Rod. Dame Maggie's brilliant in it. She plays a secretary to this Rodfer. What's his name? Anyway, and she's there, she's going there. She said, you've got to be in New York, by a certain time. But she loves him, you can see that. Albeit that she's just a secretary. It's a really good film. The VIPs, has anybody seen it before? You all go and leave me and shout at me. And the bear says, Dick Emery was a scream, funny as it. Oh, incredible. Now I'll be thinking about that today. His face. When she asked, where'd you put the worm? On the end, just like on a fishing rod. Hey, you said, where'd you put the worm? The expressions are so funny. I'm nuts, I'm cracking up. Jim Dale was good in that, as the copper, the big job, and a Liverpool Derek Guyler. Scotty Road him. Or was it London Road? Not quite so sure. Yeah. Derek Guyler was brilliant. He had that voice, didn't he? That mad voice. Oh, yeah. But that I can do it like, but he had that voice. What film's this behind me? Any idea? I know what it is. You're right there, Jim. I like Jim Dale. The Carry On, and he Carry On doctor. He's a young doctor. Funny. And he pulled some mad faces, didn't he? You can't get anything like that ever again. Those carry-ons. Oh. Oh. So funny. Bride Spirit, healing comedy, like Passport to... yes, Dr. Benjamin Pimp. Bride Spirit, that was Rex Harrison, wasn't it? He wasn't liked, you know, Rex. No, by some people, wasn't liked. Said that he was very difficult to work with, but he was a perfectionist. I just seen a message there. Seen a message there. Rod Taylor, thank you. Bear. Rod Taylor it was. Rod Taylor. It's a crack on. If you haven't seen it, Google it, get it on. It's a really good film. If you're doing that one afternoon, just get it on. Or if you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning like I do, put it on. Don't disturb your wife, just put it on. It's really good. Brian, how was me mate Frankie? Can't stay long. Jaden to go to the golf. Hope all the lads are well. Super 8 Frank, thank you. I hope your lad does well today, Jaden. There's a little golf. Give him my regards, Brian. The bear said, Frank, I watched Hudson's Choice again the other week with the great Charles Lawton. Hobson's Choice. Do you know what you want to watch, Bear? Witness for the Prosecution with Lawton. Brilliant. Absolutely. He's great, Lawton. I've been watching a Mads one. What's it called? Forget it. In the 30s. Jamaica in. Daphne du Maurier's Jamaica in. That was good. That was good. Colourised version as well. You know, they make it colour. It's good. Lawton. One of the best actors ever, Charles Lawton. Ali Denous. Franco, with every day you look more and more within an Italian mafia mob. Sorry for the off. Thanks very much. Hey. Yeah, what you doing? You talking to me? Toscana to the bear. Rod Taylor was brilliant in Hitchcock's The Birds and had a small part in Giant. He was a talented painter as well. I seen him recently. Well, he might be dead now. Fucking hell, you know what you see a change in a, you know, persona. Fucking hell, I said recognise him. Old man, you know. See. Roberta Tosca. And Tosca, yep, the VIPs watched it years. See, I love Toscana, you know, really do. She never follows up whether she says, I liked it, or, you know, it wasn't my type of film, or if it'd be me, say like someone said, and I was putting in a comment, you know, I watched The Wild Bunch. Has anybody else seen The Wild Bunch? And now I'd put in the comments and say, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Which it is. See what I mean? The actress behind you looks a bit like Julie Christie. Doesn't it? Good shout that, actually. And he looks a bit like Charles Bronson. Can't guess what the film is. Can't guess what the film is then. Don't forget, I don't know what's going on the back of me until I come on here. And Brian says, Frank, I know that it's a movie show. No, do you know what? I'm about, not today, but I am about to watch that. And, you know, I don't mind, like, documentaries being mentioned on here, to be honest. And not, I know it's the movie show here and not the conspiracy, but did you watch the show the other night about flights? No. Now I know for sure they were behind it, Bush, etc. They're behind everything. I never trust an American president. They're all warmongers. They're all warmongers. Their buttons are being pushed by the bankers, the oligarchs, to make more money. It's even proved in this country with that Rayner one, penniless, a couple of years ago, fucking 5 million quid she's got in the bank. 5. I want to know how she's got that much money. Buying property for a lot of money as well. Yeah, definitely. James Dean was only in Giant for 32 minutes, but was the best actor in it for me, especially his scenes with Liz Taylor. Liz Taylor was a great actress, by the way. Jesus Christ. Liz Taylor, great actress. I think she fucking ruined herself when she went over to the States, to be honest. Witness for the prosecution. Getting back to Toscana, Jimmy Dean. 32 minutes he was in it for. And his mate was Sir Alec Guinness. Did you know that? Jimmy Dean's mate. And he warns him not to go in that car that morning. He said, don't go in. He said, come with me. He said, no, and you don't go in it. Do not go in it. Got killed. Witness for the prosecution. Brilliant film. Tyrone Power and Marlene Dietrich. I don't know what people seen in it. To me, she's a nothing woman. You know, good actress or whatever, but the John Frank Carlyle rings to be. What rings to him? Tom Courtney, another actor who never fails to give. I met him. And it was by just a fluke. It was a fluke. And I was down at St George's Hall, and they were filmed, let 'em have it, but they were filmed the court scenes in St George's. And for some unknown reason, I always walked through St John's Gardens. Always walked through there, but I didn't this time. And I walked up through the plateau. And he was standing there, and he was reading actually. He was just standing there by the senator. And it was Tom Courtney. And I looked at him and I went, "Are you Tom Courtney?" And he looked at me, he just laughed and said, "Yeah." I said, "What are you doing here?" He told me. And that was the first time the floor had ever been lifted up in years. No one had seen the Minton tile floor, and it was lifted up for that. Let him have it. True story. Great actor, Tom. Frank, what did you think of Brilliant? I thought he's only second to Shakespeare. He invented his own, yes. Tolkien was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And he did. Hit the like button and subscribe for Frank. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Bear. I'll go for his Mrs. Jill Island. You go, you see. She died younger, that girl. Breast cancer, I think. He was devastated when she died. And the bear, yeah, absolutely, just said it, Bear. And he was really devastated. The Mechanic with Jill Islands, yeah. He was good in that, wasn't he? Bronson. I didn't mind Bronson, but I wasn't like, every film that came out I was watching. But, but he was good. He was great. He was great in The Great Escape. I always remember him. I think it was what's his name? James. Great actor then. James. Come on, not James Garner, but he was standing next to it. They're going to escape. Go walking out with all these Russians and to chop trees down, hard labour, and they're standing there ready to go out. And he said, "It's James. Do you speak any Russian?" And he went, "Yeah." He said, "Well, can you give me a line?" And he went, "Yeah. De blue." And he went, "De blue." Oh, okay. And and after just a little while, he goes, "De blue, what does it mean?" And he said, "I love you." Should have seen the face. His face. I love the expressions. They're good actors, you see. And once you give a good expression, you pull a face or whatever, it's good. Yes, yeah, she's laughing at me again. Yeah, I like the VIPs. Always like watching Burton and Sale. Also, who's afraid? Do you know what? I shouldn't say this, but I bunked in. You know, me and the lads bunked in to see. You know, well, we just bunked in, just wanted to get in and see a film, and we were sitting there, and I never liked it, and we all bunked out again. It's yeah, fuck this. What's this all about? Stepping, Frank, with all you know of local history and cinema, you should consider a show in which you cast actors for historical figures of Liverpool. So put a face on it. That's a good shout, that actually. No, that I like that shout. That's it. Charles Bronson, best film, Hard Times. Once Upon a Time in the West. Mr. Majestic. Death Hunt. Best film. Hard Times. Once Upon a Time in the West. It was Hard Times with James. I've forgot his fucking second name. Yeah, before I go, name the three actors. There's only three who escaped in the Great Escape. Who were the three who got away? Brian. Got to go, Frank and lads. Have a good one. Ask the lads without Google, can they remember a criminal called Scorpio and what film he was in? 3-1 to the Reds on Sunday. Cheers, lads. You'll never walk alone. Thank you. Donald Sutherland and David McCallum in The Great Escape. Yeah, David McCallum was in it. Donald Sutherland wasn't, though. Was he? I don't think he was, you know. McQueen is easy. I've asked you who were the three who escaped. There's only three who get at the end of the film. Emperor of the North, Ernest Borgnine and Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin, fantastic actor. But so was Borgnine, you know. Ernesto Bonini. It's a proper name. Can't tell me, can you? The three fellas who escaped, who got to freedom. Steve McQueen, James Garner and James Cope, no. And Dr. Benj, sorry, meant James Colbert, no going back now. No, you're right. James Colburn was one of them. Who were the other two? Who were the other two? And you'll all be Googling now. Who the fuck was it? Two more. James Coburn, it was great. But he's on a bike, isn't he? and this German sitting in the cafe outside, and he pulls up, and he's sitting there. Oh no, he's already in the cafe, isn't he? Outside having a coffee or whatever, and the Germans pull up and all sit there, and he goes, and he's trying to not act suspiciously. Anyway, a girl comes up to him and went, telephone. And he looks at her. She said, telephone for you. And just grabbed him. And he went, okay. Walks in. And these partisans come and just shoot the Germalines. Yes. John Layton. But who was he with? There was him and another fella who got. I preferred Escape to Victory from The Great Escape. I thought that was hilarious. That, they had all these kids at the end, running on the pitch. And the time it was filmed, all these kids were all running, and they all had tank tops on them. The style that day. And it was supposed to be like in the 1940s. Escape to Victory. But anyway, yes, I'll tell you, it was the last three. Well, you got two there. You got James Coburn. You got John Layton, that's the odds one there, and Charles Bronson. They escaped. The only three. Even Arthur Askey never escaped to make his films. He lived it out in till the end of the war. And Sam Kidd. And Scorpio villain from The Dirty Harry, Frank. Scorpio, oh, he's horrible, him, yeah. Fella named Robinson, his name was. Fella named, is that the sniper? And he had that mad smile, didn't he? He's a very good actor, him. I'll tell you what else he was in. Totally different, from what he played. And it was... Clive Barker wrote it. Clive Barker. Horror franchise. Donald Pleasance, yeah, he was the forger. And he was James Garner's mate in it. James Garner, thought he got to freedom in the plane. There were tunnels. Dr. Benj. There were tunnels. Tom, Dick and Harry. Just shows you, doesn't it, though? When you watch a film and my back's killing me. Poor back. I'm going to finish now. And for all you football fans, if you want to watch me on, I'm doing a watch along tomorrow. Vroom, 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 vroom. For these boys tomorrow. My mate does these. That's the squad that won the title, 20. On slate. Frank, have a great day, says the Scottish bit. You too. Everybody, you know, can I just finish on this? I forgot. Gap Painting Services, they sponsor the Frank Carlyle podcasts. Please get them in. Don't struggle. They're fully insured, fully time served. They're great lads. They're in and out. If you want a job done, get them. If you've got grandparents and they're wondering who to get these in. They get a special discount. Don't be getting cowboys in to fuck things up. Just get these lads in. Gap Painting Services. Please. Because they get a special discount, and if you know anyone who's working in the NHS, they get a special discount. Don't have them struggling. Please. That's Gap Painting Services, who sponsor the Frank Show. Never told you what this was, did I? I'll tell you what it was. The Day of the Triffids. I watched the original one that was made in '62 with Howard Keel. He had to have a yank in it, didn't he? But anyway, he's in it. 1962, Jeanette Scott, lovely, and she's in it. It's a good film, actually. I've got it on there. You know, I streamed it. So that's me for today. Hope to see some of you tomorrow around. It's 2 o'clock kick-off, isn't it? So it'll be around 1:15 for the watch-along, for the pre-match. Then the watch-along, then there'll be a post-match. Okay. Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks for keeping me company. Good day, Frank. Be well. And moving, please. I can't move. I wish I could. The only way I can move is I make myself loads of cups of tea. I had a coffee last night. Yeah, coffee. And I thought, I shouldn't have had that because it keeps you awake, doesn't it? I had a cappuccino. But anyway, I had that and slept like a log. So it could be a fallacy that coffee keeps you awake. But I enjoyed it, you know. It was different from cups of tea. So anyway, I'll see you, some of you tomorrow, I hope. If not, good luck.